Thanks again for tuning into Moonshine Gaming. Today we're going to be discussing the top 5 rarest and most expensive Nintendo Game Boy Advance games. Now, as per usual, we have a couple parameters we're going to be following for this list. We won't be including any not for resale cartridges, e-reader cartridges, case variants, case bundles, or graded games. Now we're going to be using North American complete in-box prices for the prices on this list, and what that means is that the game box, instruction manual, inserts, and game cartridge are going to be included for the prices on this list. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we've got Moto Racer Advance. This is a motocross racing game that was released in 2002. In the game, you control a motorcyclist, and you're trying to win races on various terrain and settings. Each motorcycle in the game handles differently, with some performing better on paved roads, while others work better on rough terrain. There are 3 game modes in the game: Motocross, GP, and Traffic. Motocross is more off-road, GP is more road racing, and Traffic is a combination of the two. The game feels more like an arcade racer than a sim, which isn't a bad thing. The game does a fantastic job at conveying the sense of speed. It always feels like you're ripping through the tracks. Speaking of tracks, there are a great variety of tracks in the game that are set all around the world. The game also has a ton of unlockables and great difficulty progression, with the tracks and AI getting tougher at the perfect times. You can even link up 4 GBAs and race against your friends, providing a great multiplayer experience. With tight controls, an exhilarating sense of speed, and a ton of depth, this is a must-play racer on the Game Boy Advance. The current market value of this game is $742. Next up, we've got DemiKids Dark Version. This is an RPG that was released in 2003. DemiKids Dark Version is part of the duology with DemiKids Light Version, kind of similar to Pokemon when they put out multiple games at the same time, and they make up the second generation of the Devil Children games. Unlike many other multi-version games, there are a large number of changes between the dark and light versions. Side note, the DemiKids games were also the first to receive the Shin Megami Tensei banner in North America. The story revolves around 2 students, Jin and Akira, who live in an Earth-like place called Rem. The 2 of them are DemiKids, meaning they're part human and part demon. An evil demon named Imperius shows up and wreaks havoc on the town. In the dark version, you take control of Akira, and you're on the hunt for time chains to help stop Imperius. Unfortunately, DemiKids does not stack up against the Pokemon games for the GBA era. Every aspect of the game seems to come up a bit short. Pixelated and unrefined visuals, poorly designed menus, slow combat, uninteresting music, and the unbalanced demon recruitment game mechanic. The game is fairly short compared to many other RPGs and only takes about 15 to 20 hours to complete. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is a horrible game, I'm just saying that there are definitely better RPGs on the Game Boy Advance. If you're into the roam and battle gameplay, this still could be a fun experience for you. The current market value of this game is $752. Now a quick word from the sponsor of this video. No, I'm just kidding, nobody's sponsoring this tiny channel. But if you like videos like this, you can consider subscribing to Moonshine Gaming, as we put out video game related content every single Thursday. Back to the list. Next up, we've got Sega Rally Championship. This is a racing game that was released in 2003. Despite its name, it's not actually a direct port of the original Sega Rally Championship. Due to the limitations of the Game Boy Advance, it's tough to put out solid racers on the platform. With that being said, it's very surprising that this is the second fun and playable racer on this short list. The gameplay is standard if you're used to this style of racer. You start by picking a vehicle and then race against computer opponents on many different tracks. You win money, which you can then use to purchase unlockables. The graphics are pretty average, but the gameplay in this is fantastic. Some people complain about the music, but I actually love it. It's catchy and it really fits the game well in my opinion. The controls are simple to grasp, the drifting mechanic feels good, and if you can believe it, the GBA version feels smoother than the Sega Saturn version. Also, just like Moto Racer Advance, you can play with up to 3 friends by using the Game Boy Advance link cables. This is an entertaining little racer, and with the combination of the depth of this game and the fun and addicting gameplay, this provides some of the best rally racing action you can get on the Game Boy Advance. The current market value of this game is $834. Next up, we've got Pocky and Rocky with Becky. This is an action game that was released in 2002. The story starts with the Hydra Dragon breaking out of a shrine that it had been trapped in long ago, and it's up to you to defeat the demon before it's too late. The gameplay is similar to that of the rest of the Pocky Rocky series. You shoot your way through stages while collecting magical items and a variety of power-ups that enhance each character's unique spells and abilities. There's one main difference from the original games. You can also select Becky as a playable character, along with Pocky and Rocky. This game is kind of fun, but it's devastatingly short and pretty easy compared to the other games of this franchise. The entire game is comprised of only 7 short stages with bosses at the end of each stage. The gameplay also feels really slow. It seems like the game may have been rushed to market in order to land in the GBA's launch window. It's too bad because the game has the potential to be really good, had the developers put some more effort and creativity into certain aspects of the game. The one upside to the game is the simple controls, which make it a great game to just pick up and play, and the cute characters and unique end-level bosses. Unfortunately though, this isn't enough for me to recommend playing this game. The current market value of this game is $1,154. Next up, number 1, Ninja 5-0. This is an action platform game that was released in 2003. In the game, you take the role of Joe Asugi, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, a ninja who must stop a terrorist group influenced by mystical masks. These are masks that give the enemies a crazy amount of power. You must defeat the terrorists and rescue the hostages through 5 missions. Each mission has 3 levels and a boss battle. You have a wide array of moves at your disposal, such as throwing stars, knife attacks, and various special moves and power-ups, including a pretty epic laser gun. It's important that you become familiar with all of Joe's tools, because you'll need them all to work your way through the game. Thankfully, you're graced with infinite lives, meaning you can take your time and attempt each stage as many times as you'd like without penalty. Sadly, the game is pretty short and can be completed in less than 5 hours. However, there is a scoring system that really helps with the replayability. There's also a time trial mode. This game is incredible, one of the best on the Game Boy Advance, I'd say. The controls are amazing, and the wide array of abilities, non-linear and elegant level design, and perfect combination of combat and platforming make this game a must-play. The current market value of this game is $1,198. What was your favorite game on the list? You can let us know down in the comments below. And also, if you have any ideas for future top 10s, you can let us know down there as well. We'll see you next time.